Rachael Wilson joins me now. She's the CEO of the Ottawa Food Bank. Rachael, good morning. Appreciate your time with us. So talk
Good
to us
morning.
about the demand that you are seeing and now the shortfall that you are experiencing as a result.
Yeah, as you mentioned, we've seen a 90% increase in the number of visits to the 98 organizations we work with since 2019 and a 13% increase over the last year. We're expecting another 15% increase in 2025. And so we're stretching our dollar as much as we can, but we just know it's not going to be enough to meet the current need, let alone the need that we're expecting in the next 12 months.
So you have issued a declaration of emergency that happened in November. What does that mean, and has anything changed since then?
We declared an emergency because we recognize that we are going to have to be turning people away. There will be people who are going hungry without food in our city. So we were calling on all levels of government to make policy changes that will impact people's ability to afford food. Unfortunately, we haven't seen any traction, and we know that with the federal election coming up, it's going to be very challenging to get the governments to play the role that they need to play.
What has happened or what has changed in the last few years to bring about this increased demand at the food bank?
We know the cost of living in cities like Ottawa and right across the country have grown exponentially, and people can't afford to live in a city like ours. And the other critical piece is that about 40% of the people who access the food bank in Ottawa are on some form of social assistance, and those rates have not kept pace at all with the cost of living. So more and more people are falling far below the poverty line and just not able to make ends meet. But we're also seeing people who are employed, seniors, and unfortunately 37% are children.
Our children. So the clientele has changed, if you will, over the past couple of years.
More people who are employed means that the cost of living is just so high that even if you're working 1, 2, 3 jobs, you cannot make it work in a city like ours and in many cities in Ontario.
What do you say to people about this announcement today that you're going to have to cut back services?
This is an impossible situation, not only for the Ottawa Food Bank, but for the agencies we work with and the people who rely on food banks. We know people rely on food banks for their regular food and that we play a large part in this community. These are going to be very challenging times ahead, but we are hoping people will continue to support not only the Ottawa Food Bank, but their local food bank. We need it more now than ever before.
And on that note, as we wrap up, have you seen a drop in donations?
The donations have really started to level off, but unfortunately, we need more than we needed last year, so we're falling behind. Food donations are still fairly strong, but we're worried what the next month will mean for us. We rely 98% on the community. We don't receive provincial or federal funding. So as our donors are feeling the economic pinch, we're going to continue to feel that as well.
Rachael, thanks again for taking the time to speak with us. Rachael Wilson is the CEO of the Ottawa Food Bank.